Some operations are secret. Others are designed so you never know who ordered them. That difference may sound subtle, almost semantic, but it quietly shapes how modern power works. Governments don't simply hide actions. They classify how those actions are hidden, who is allowed to know, and how responsibility is managed if something goes wrong. Most people assume secrecy is about darkness. In reality, it's about structure. This isn't about scandals, not about leaks, not about conspiracies. It's about two words most citizens were never taught to question: clandestine and covert. Because once you understand the difference between them, you start noticing a pattern. Not chaos, not corruption, a system. This is the world that operates in secret. In everyday life, secrecy feels binary. Something is either hidden or it isn't. But governments learned long ago that secrecy needed categories. During the early 20th century, especially after World War I, states began to formalize intelligence work. Espionage could no longer rely on informal networks or deniable adventurism. It had to be bureaucratized. That bureaucratization required language. The word clandestine emerged to describe actions that must remain unseen. An operation that, if discovered, would immediately collapse or fail. Later, the word covert gained importance. Not because the operation itself had to be invisible, but because the sponsor had to remain invisible. This distinction mattered enormously. A clandestine operation fails if it is exposed. A covert operation can continue even if exposed, as long as responsibility remains uncertain. This was not philosophical hair-splitting. It was legal engineering. Democratic governments needed a way to act secretly without openly violating their own principles of accountability. So secrecy was divided into types. Each type carried different rules, different oversight, and different political consequences. Most citizens never encounter these definitions, not because they are classified, but because they exist in spaces ordinary people are never invited into. And once language becomes specialized, power becomes easier to manage quietly. A clandestine operation is one where the operation itself is hidden. If successful, nobody outside the operation ever knows it occurred. If exposed, the operation is considered compromised. Clandestine work is fragile by design. It includes things like human intelligence collection, undercover asset handling, secret surveillance placements, and infiltration that collapses once discovered. These operations depend on silence. Exposure is failure. Clandestine activity is often tolerated more easily by democratic systems because its scope is limited. It gathers information. It observes. It listens. The moment a clandestine action causes visible harm, it risks political fallout. So clandestine operations tend to remain narrow, even when aggressive. They are hidden because they must be. A covert operation is different. Here, the action itself may become visible. What must remain hidden is who ordered it. This is where secrecy becomes strategic. Covert actions can include political influence campaigns, support to foreign groups, sabotage, or indirect military involvement. If discovered, the operation is not considered failed. It is considered denied. The phrase often used is plausible deniability. That phrase is not rhetorical. It is operational doctrine. Plausible deniability does not mean lying. It means structuring actions so responsibility cannot be proven beyond doubt. This protects leadership from direct accountability. It also protects institutions from public scrutiny. Covert operations exist not because governments want secrecy, but because they want distance. Distance from consequences. Distance from voters. Distance from history. Once that distance is institutionalized, covert action becomes easier to authorize than open action. Not because it is safer, but because it is quieter. In the United States, secrecy is not lawless. It is legal. Military actions typically fall under Title 10 of U.S. law. Intelligence activities fall under Title 50. This distinction determines who authorizes the action, who is informed, when Congress is notified, and what oversight exists. The same activity, conducted under a different title, can receive drastically different scrutiny. Oversight does exist, but oversight does not mean veto power. In many cases, lawmakers are informed after decisions are already made. They are sworn to secrecy. They cannot discuss what they know. They cannot warn the public. Being informed does not equal being able to stop something. The law does not prevent secrecy. It channels it. Institutions learn from experience. Over time, governments learn that overt actions create backlash. Clandestine actions create risk. Covert actions create ambiguity. And ambiguity is manageable. When responsibility is unclear, public anger dissipates, accountability blurs, and political damage is contained. This does not require malice. It requires incentives. Systems reward what survives scrutiny. Covert power survives better than visible power. Once you understand the difference between clandestine and covert, you start seeing it everywhere. In how wars are described, in how surveillance is justified, in how responsibility is deferred, not as scandal, not as conspiracy, but as design. Some of the most important decisions shaping the modern world were never announced. They didn't need to be. They were structured to disappear. Thank you for watching. If this changed how you see the world, please consider subscribing